another episode of Late Night Talk, and this is Sheila, your host for tonight. So, in today's episode, we will be picking some random lucky viewers to be with us tonight, and we will ask them some questions about transportation. And without further ado, let's get started. To ensure the safety of everyone, we will not be having them right now in our studio, but rather we will call them via telephone to answer the questions at the comforts of their own homes. And flashed on the screen are the following questions. So we will now be calling some viewers to answer the first question. And the first lucky viewer is Mr. Danny Cortez. So let us now call. Hello.
Hello?
So your question is, what impacts does transportation have in your area?
Based on what I've observed, there's a lot of impacts brought by transportation in Iriga City. First is in terms of mobility. Transportation is vital to the overall accessibility in our place, and Irigaños use various forms of transportation, either public or private, in transferring to other neighboring municipalities in Rinconada, either for work, buying commodities, visiting friends and relatives, negotiation or business, and other means of exchanges between people. So aside from that, it also aids in the economic development of our city. Moreover, the transportation sector of our area provides opportunities for some families that earns their living by owning transportations for public use and driving people to their preferred destinations in and out of the city.
Thank you for your answer. And now the second random viewer who will answer the first question is Miss Kay Ilardes. So we'll now call her. Hello.
Hi, yes. During the first few months of the pandemic, having your own private vehicle is very important. It became a necessity because the government did not allow public transportation vehicles to move around. This is why it was quite difficult for those people who doesn't own a private vehicle to buy their needs like groceries or medicine sa city proper. But now that we have somehow adapted to this situation, traveling from one place to another is still quite difficult. It is only for the people who can afford. Kasi here in my area, before the pandemic, we can already go to the city proper by paying around 8 to 10 pesos. But now, the tricycle fare tripled. It increased to 25 to 30 pesos. Kasi, even if there is a pandemic, we are still being required to be in different places. Like school, work, malls to buy groceries and other needs, government offices to pay taxes and bills, and other places. So we don't really have a choice but to adapt. Otherwise, we won't be able to perform our responsibilities and we won't be able to provide the needs of the people in our houses.
Thank you for answering. So let us now move on to the second question. And the lucky viewer who will answer is Miss Christine Astibe. So let us now call her on the phone. Hello, Miss Christine.
Hello.
Yes, so your question is, in terms of tourism, what methods of sustainable transportation is most suited in your area?
So when it comes to tourism, I think jeepneys are the best way to go. Probably because, first of all, it's cheaper. Also, if you're traveling with a large group of people, There are more seats so you can stick together while on your way to the destination. But the best thing I like about jeepneys is they already have a set route, so you don't have to worry about giving directions. You just need to know where you're supposed to get off. Although I think jeepneys are best for these reasons, during this ongoing pandemic, we should, of course, just stay home to be safe.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, Shem.
We are now down to the fourth and last lucky viewer to be with us in today's show. And that lucky viewer is Miss Herminia Vasquez. So we will now call her on the phone. Hello, Miss Herminia.
Hello.
So your question would be the last one, and here it is. During the COVID-19 epidemic, how did the transportation and mobility sector strike a balance between public health and economic concerns?
During the COVID-19 pandemic, transportation and mobility sectors are highly affected due to some health restrictions. In order to balance public health and economic concerns, certain measures are strictly implemented. Reducing the passenger capacity by 50% is one of the evident adjustments to observe social distancing, requiring the use of plastic barriers and wearing of face masks and face shields to lower the risk of aerosol transmission. Temperature checking and installment of hand sanitizer inside the vehicle also help to avoid the spread of the virus. This may be too hard for all, but as we can see, everyone is trying his or her best to work for a living while considering health matters. Of course, we don't want to make the situation even worse.
And that would be the end of tonight's episode. Thank you to the viewers who share with us their knowledge and for being with us tonight. Please stay tuned for more details because you can be the next viewer to be with us in this show. Once again, thank you and have a good night.